Hey, what's up, everybody? This is a review for The Never Ever Met, Season 1, Episode 9. I thought that this was the last episode, but there's actually an Episode 10 coming up next week. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing well. I don't really have much to say in the opener of this, so we can just jump straight into the episode. All right, y'all. I'm going to be doing a little bit of pontificating about, my own. I might go off on a few tangents. I'm just warning y'all now. Just fast forward it. So Jody meets with the lady. The lady gets Jody to see, long story short, that there's a lot of maybes and potentially in her answer. She's not hearing a sure thing when it comes to Aaron. Tell me where that's coming from. She says that she likes Aaron, and when they creatively get together, I'm not sure what that creative process is for the two of them, but they connect. She's a complex person, and she likes the fact that Aaron works to understand her complexities and respects her boundaries. So now the therapist is knowing, okay, she wants to be accepted. The next thing they get into is them having the same idea on marriage, about marriage being a business. And she just doesn't really think there needs to be, not that there needs to be love, but that love is the most important thing, because what do we do when the love is not there? So now the therapist is hearing, oh, she believes that she can't have love and a relationship that makes sense. She doesn't believe that she's going to get both of those. So she puts up these boundaries, she puts up these limits on herself, and tries to make the relationship way more logical instead of opening up to receive the love that she wants deep down. And the therapist ends up being right. She says that she thinks everything that Jody is doing is a trauma response, to which Jody says, okay, well, maybe it could be. She talks about how she was assaulted. She began to study sex because sex was something that she could control. Love is often something that you cannot control. You cannot throw logic in it. So she tries to make the relationship more logic so that she can have some control. The doctor is good. So Jody is just it leads her to tears when the doctor is telling her she's worthy of love and she should open herself up to receive love. But this is work that requires Jody to do. And she gives Jody a hug, and even Jody is emotional about the hug. So it lets me know that deep down inside, there's like a fairy tale part of Jody, and she's buried that part of herself because of maybe her trauma and her experiences with seeing people fall out of love with each other. Maybe they never had love, I don't know, but kind of fall out of love, and then the marriage goes awry, and she just wants to make sure that things make sense and they have something. I get having something else to hold on to outside of love, but I think with Jody, she isn't even considering love to be a possibility. She's jumping straight to the business of it all. So I thought the therapist did really good with her. I still think that she needs to let little Aaron go, not because little Aaron's not a great guy, but because she has so much work to do within herself. And the only reason she's holding on to little Aaron is because little Aaron accepts her. And you want somebody who can receive all of you from a healthy space, not just somebody who accepts all your limits and boundaries and is about to follow all these rules to try to get with you. Because then I'm also wondering with little Aaron, do you know what a healthy love looks like? Do you know what it is for somebody to really accept you as well? So you want to come from a healthy space of acceptance and not just sticking with somebody because, oh, they were nice to you and they accepted you. You want it to be, I want to give love from a healthy space. I want to be open to love from a healthy space. And I want to choose my mate from that healthy space as well. And that's just not where you are. So it was good. And when I talked it out, it got even better. What did you guys think about that? Did it make you look at Jody differently? It made me look at her a little bit differently. I had more of a heart, or more of a understanding of who she was. Do I like her attitude? I still don't like it. But I had more of a heart for Jody. And I actually related to a lot of the things that the therapist was talking about when it came to just talking about setting up boundaries around love. I do now. I'm not one that think I don't deserve love, because child, and I'm not one that doesn't receive love, because I do. I have a lot of love in my life. Sometimes it gets to be overwhelming, child, but I'm very loved, and I've had romantic love and I've enjoyed it, and I know what it feels like for somebody to love you unconditionally and you love them back. I know what all of that feels like. My problem is I don't know if I'm willing to put the effort into romantic love again. So not so much that I don't believe I'm deserving of it or all of that. It's more so of am I willing to put this effort into it again? Because I don't know what to tell you. I'm happy. I am so happy and so fulfilled and so at peace in my life. When I think about the effort that being in a romantic relationship requires, I just get tired. I just get very, very tired. And I told my friend, I went to Atlanta last month and I was telling my friend, this is the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. Like, I have not felt up like this since I was a child. Like, this is truly the happiest I've ever been. And so I'm very careful about disrupting it. Right. So that's the space I'm in. I'm sure I need to talk to a lady my damn self, or I might be okay. I really don't know. Maybe one of y'all down there will tell me. But that's where I could relate just a little bit, just a smidge, but not completely. But let's move on. Here we go with matching tattoos. Shay and Josh meet with Taronda and they're talking about their future and things that they have ahead. They are going to try to find a space to move, a mutually I was about to say mutually exclusive, but a mutual place that both of them would be ready and be good to settle in, because Josh has children, not just one child. He has the Dren. And Taronda is looking at Shay like, okay, girl, you ready for that? You ready to be a mom? She was like, yeah, I love kids. I said, loving kids and being a mom is two different things. Who gonna tell her? But Shay is all blissful about the situation. Taronda tells her, have you ever lived with somebody before? Now, y'all know it can be difficult, but both of them don't mind it. And see that when Taronda said that, baby, truer words have never been spoken. That's the effort that I'm talking about. That's one of my efforts that I'm concerned about, because I've lived with a man before, and it only took one time to let me know that, baby, that I don't know if that's happening again. And I know somebody gonna be like, oh, well, when I moved in with my man, it was beautiful and we got along great. Good. If this shoe don't fit you, please don't put it on. But for the ones who know, baby, you know. It's somebody in my comment section that said they go to their man's house on an off week. Like, 1 week we be at his house, then 1 week off. Then 1 week we be at my house, then 1 week off. Baby, you got that's the golden ticket right there. That's the life I'm trying to live. I'm telling you. When Whoopi said, I don't want nobody in my house, that's why she said she ain't never getting married again. I've never related to something so much. But anyway, Shay is happy about this whole thing. They got people coming in. Well, Josh is too. They got people coming in. His high school friend, her sister. She is somewhat acquainted with the high school friend, but it was a little rocky at first. That's what she said. Now, why was it rocky? And her sister is going to come in, and she say her sister going to get to it. So we got that to see. But let's get into some of these dates. Chris and Sandia go on a date to see a man about a horse. Literally. She gets a horse and named Leo, and she immediately touches it and introduces herself, which is actually really good. They tell you to do that when you go horseback riding. They get acquainted with the animal, see if he likes you and all that. So she got on and she rode on like a pro, and they saw the beautiful mountains, and then there was a picnic waiting. Very nice date. Very beautiful scenery. Y'all know when I saw them horses, I had heart palpitations, because I done told y'all the story of my wig and that horse. And every time I see a horse now, I just think about my wig flying off my head. Anyway, I'm not going to retell the story. We don't have time. So they sit on the picnic blanket and talk about their future. Chris said, who you leaving here with? You leaving by yourself or you leaving here with me? And Sandia not as, I think we might have, I don't know. I'm not ready to call it just yet, but I don't really think she is as naive as she has led us to believe. But I'm not ready to call it just yet, because when she answered him, she was like, I'm open to it. When he asked her, she said she was open to it. And he was saying that, what is she looking forward to getting back to? He said she said she's ready to get back to her life, ready to get back to work, ready to get back to the gym. She was like, I got to get back to work because, I got to make a life for myself. And that's when Chris says, I don't want you to work. Now, he expounded upon that, but at first I was just like, wait, is he going to pay her bills now? But he says that in the future, if things work out between them, he's not really wanting her to work. I know you went to nursing school and I know that that's your dream. However, if we're together, I don't want you to work. Now, this can be taken one of two ways, depending on what kind of woman you are. There are some women, that's all they've ever wanted to hear, and they are going to quit their jobs immediately. Sandia says that, she works because she doesn't want to depend on her parents for everything. She has to work. And she was like, I mean, maybe, if you want to do that, if I could have my business on the side. That's what made me think that she not as naive as we would like her to believe. Because it's like she knows, I know that you need this to feel like a man in this relationship, but I also know my mom ain't raised no fool, and I got to have something to the side in case you decide that you don't want to be the man in my life anymore. So I was kind of like, okay. Yeah, maybe she not, I don't know. Yeah, what y'all think? Am I giving it too much? But Chris said he wants to have at least one child. She said 2 at the max. Not really trying to do that, but she was just like, if you want to pay for everything, and then I got my business. She said it again. I got my business to the side, and I was just looking like, what business? What business is it? Said Dia, is it part-time nursing? I want to know. She probably already got the damn business together. But anyway, Chris is just like, okay, that works for him. Like I said, it just depends on who you are. I know some women who have done it before and say they will never do it again. And then I know some women who they simply tired of working. So if somebody want to pay it, they go pay it. And they will fully trust them to just do what they supposed to do. Yeah, it all just depends on your trust level, I think. I ain't gonna speak on mine, but it depends on your trust level. Anyway, what y'all think about the date? Let's move on to the next one. Oh, one point I forgot to add in. They do talk about Chris asks her, well, how do you feel in the future, like with being with me, especially with some of my ways that you don't like that much? And she was like, well, you working on them, right? You seem to enjoy the therapy that we did, which was my decision, even though you said women don't make good decisions. And he said that was a good decision on her part. And it did open his eyes to some. But I just noticed again in that situation, she still didn't say whether she was riding with him or not. It's almost like she answered a question with a question and she keep it open-ended. I don't know if he noticed it, but I did. But yeah, that was it. That was just one part I forgot to mention in the date. All right, now it's Diamond and Aaron's turn to meet with the lady, and Dr. Ellie asked them, how has your experience been in the house so far? And they immediately start bringing up the drama. They start bringing up how they know that they gonna make it because of all the things that they experienced in the house. And even when they tried to give advice and their intentions was good, the advice wasn't always followed. And it's been a lot of drama. And that's how we know we riding for each other. They also talk about Hurricane Irene and the drama she brought in. And Dr. Allie asked Diamond, how do you feel about that? Like him not getting along with your sister. And she was like, I'm okay with it. It doesn't have to be the 3 of us. It's the 2 of us. And I will deal with her when I deal with her. And I'll deal with him when I deal with him. And she was like, wow, Big Aaron, how does that make you feel? Because, we want to have that balance in our lives. And Big Aaron is rolling with whatever Diamond say, because at the end of the day, what it's about the 2 of them. Big Aaron say, I pray for people like that. I was like, oh, he get on my nerves. Y'all. Now I know some of y'all were a little bit perturbed about how I went in on Diamond last week. And while I agree that Shay's anger was 100% misplaced, she did need to be mad at her man. I do agree with that. I was just glad that somebody finally told Diamond and Big Aaron to mind their business. I think that was the part that I was the happiest about, because I've been thinking they needed to do that for a long time. And I was really happy when the therapist told them, hey, don't just look for opportunities to get closer after drama. Don't let drama be the reason that you find yourself closer and closer. You want to come closer and closer organically. And I thank the therapist for saying that, because Big Aaron and Diamond, to me, they come off as smug. They come off as, well, we know what's going on and y'all just don't want to listen to us. And I get it. There's a lot of us younger people. I'm not really a younger person, but younger than them and even younger than me. They don't like to listen. They think they know everything. They think they got everything figured out. I know exactly what kind of attitude that Diamond and Aaron probably think a lot of people have, and a lot of young people do have those attitudes. But I feel like as an older person, I consider myself an auntie as well. One of the things that I try to do when I talk to people, I always try to make sure that my advice is coming from a space that I know and I recognize myself. I don't see myself giving a young person marital advice because I'm not a married woman. I don't have children. And so a lot of my perspective is going to be different. But if you need advice on like loving yourself, if you need advice on friendship, if you need advice on career stuff, that's kind of where I shine. I also try to remember that they are young and they're going through their experiences. And what I can do is make sure I listen, not just to respond and tell them what to do, but really actively listen to them and see if they even want advice. Sometimes they don't. A lot of times people are just venting. And I felt like Big Aaron and Diamond, Big Aaron. Well, yeah, that was right. Big Aaron and Diamond came in the house on some, well, we grown, so we know, and we gonna treat y'all like our nieces and nephews and kids. And nobody asked them to do that. They really could have just blended in with the rest of the house. So when I talked about Diamond last week, it's because I was just glad that somebody finally let both of them know. And even them sitting there now in front of the therapist talking about everything else that went on in the house and not really talking about the ins and outs of their own relationship is even further proof of what I mean. And I still am not going to forget that Diamond said what she said about women when she got to the house. I believe that's what she meant. And any woman that says things like that, I don't deal with females, I don't deal with women, I don't deal with that, they're never going to convince me that they're coming from a genuine place. Never. Not until they address what they said. We can keep going. These two stooges go and get matching tattoos. And the tattoo is kind of big. It's on their forearm. Is it like a yin yang? I don't really know. I just don't think it's a good decision. And that's all I got to say about that. But I will say I sure do love the feeling of a tattoo. Oh, my goodness. I want another one, but I don't know what I want to get. So I'm not going to mark my body up no more. But I sure do love the feeling of the needle. Here comes Josh talk about the only good pain is tattoos and babies. Nick, shut up. Shut up. You don't know what no baby feel like. So don't you talk about no good pain. I'll slap the hell out of you. I slapped the hell out of you for all the women who done been through it. Not me, but for all the other women, I'm going to slap you. Be quiet. Greg and Millie Rock on any block, they go on a date. And the date is it's awkward at some moments, but it's pretty good for the most part. It's Greg's birthday. They go out and Millie and him are talking about just their own plans in the future. Millie says her window to have children and settle down is getting shorter. She's 32 and she will be going through a geriatric pregnancy at 35. So about 34, she really need to be kind of locking something in. Greg says he never really thought about it. Of course you didn't, Greg. Most men do not think about those kind of windows because for the most part, it does not apply to them. But y'all know how I feel about that paternal age and that spectrum. Y'all can look up the research yourself. I get tired of saying it over here because, there's some folks that like to argue about it. But the doctor said that's what it is. So y'all need to be thinking about your paternal age as well. But Greg tells Millie, no worries. No worries, because I got a plan for myself. I got a plan for both of us. And I do like that. I do like a man who is not only ready to settle down, but they have a plan for their life. Like, it's not just I'm just kind of going with the flow. And when I meet the right person, I'll know. And then we'll figure out, like, what plans do you have for yourself? What are you doing to see that these things happen for you? So I did like that he said he had a plan for both of them. He says that Millie seems to be the right person, the one that he should settle down with. And he buys her a gift for his birthday. Okay, some nice pearls. Very beautiful. She was like, oh my gosh, babe, these actually are really nice. She said that like he pick out ugly jewelry. Or maybe she's gotten ugly jewelry in the past. He puts it on her. They share a kiss. Real cute. Later on, they get to the house and they have this party. And baby, we're going to talk about this party. So Millie Rock on any block has Greg a surprise party planned. So we see everybody decorating. We see everybody getting ready. Everybody except for Aaron and Diamond. And Greg comes in. He is so happy. He feels like it's like a family and he really appreciates everyone. Now they gonna have a good time. So the party is getting fun and they playing games and shot games. And once everybody get that lick in them, it gets a little on the freaky side. So Big Aaron and Diamond, they say we too grown for this, so they gonna leave, and that's fine. That's good, because good. The other people are downstairs playing the game. They tell Aaron they want him to get behind Jody and, put on his best freak show, and he get to taking off his shirt and he get to going down low. Now listen, even I, who would not mind such a thing, but I just, in front of everybody, I would have been embarrassed. I would have been embarrassed. And he was giving her the imaginary back strokes. And Jody says in her confessionals, sometimes when you haven't had sex with a person and you play a little game like this, it could give you an idea of what sex with that person would be like, and you decide that you do not want to have sex with that person. So I guess she wasn't feeling, his jolting moves. So then Josh gives Shay a little lap dance, and okay, that was fun, that was cute. Then Chris, was it Chris that said it? I think it was. Chris says, I want Jody to give Sandia a kiss. Now, there's a lot of layers to this. First of all, Chris, now you already know how folk felt about you and Jody. So the fact that you are even asking and requesting this, Jody also says, like, this is something that Chris has talked to me about before. He know that I don't play this, I don't do this, and I think it's a test. Like, he just wants to see if I'm gonna do it. And she was like, but it's not serious. It's just a party. So I'm just going to do it. Now this kiss, Lil Aaron ain't got none of that. The whole time he been here. If I was him, I would have been offended. I would have been like, well, now wait a damn minute. I got cursed out for putting my bed next to the girl. And she kissing this girl like this for the game? Now, you ain't just gonna tell me it's blame it on the alcohol. Jody? Because there wasn't no peck on the lips. This kiss lasted a little bit of time now. I would put it in here, but it lasted a little bit of time, and it had me looking at Jody like, I got to take back a little bit. I got to snatch a little bit of my words back, because I do still feel for you, but now I know for sure you playing with Lil Aaron, because you ain't gave him none of that kind of action, but you gave it to Sandia. Either that or you are, now girl, you into women? Because we can explore that too. Now, the next part, I got to take back a little bit what I said about Sandia. You don't let nobody test your boundaries like this. If you really not into women at all, like you don't even like playing them kind of games with women, don't let your man convince you to test your boundaries like this. Because the next minute it's going to be, I dare to eat your coochie a little bit. I dare to lick a nipple. Then next thing you know, y'all having full-blown sex. And you saying it's just a party. It's fun. Right? They gonna see, how far they can go. All right? You better get them. I told any man I deal with, you better get them threesomes out the way before you meet me. Because I'm not built for no threesome. I'm not built for no threesome. I will mess around and marry both of y'all. That's the kind of love I got to give. So don't engage me in no threesome, because I'm going to get attached. And next thing you know, we poly. Don't do it. And then lastly, y'all, whoever knocked all the blocks down had to run around the house with no clothes on. When Lil Aaron lost. When Lil Aaron take off his clothes, did he have on a thong? Did y'all see some booty cheeks? I'm pretty certain I saw some booty cheeks. I'm not putting it up here because you ain't finna give me no strike. But I'm pretty sure I saw some booty cheeks. And I was like, Aaron, is this your normal attire? Because they look like more than tighty whities. I saw cheeks. Did y'all see cheeks? Lil Aaron, yeah, you ain't doing nothing for the things that people been saying. I just want to let you know that. Now, Shay's sister pull up, and I was just like, what she got on? Y'all going out after this? Both of them dressed like they ready to go to the club. Not meet nobody's paramour. So they go outside to talk. They always going outside. It just makes me wonder, do y'all not got clearance to film in certain rooms in the house? But they go outside to talk. And she says that the first thing she asked her sister was, you remember Josh? And the sister said, no, I don't know him. Shay, get your family together before you put them on TV. She's just like, no, I don't know him. And she said, well, it's been 12 years on and off. I haven't really talked about him that much because it wasn't really a real relationship. And we've been on and off partially because of the communication. He just hasn't always communicated well. And she was like, oh, he gonna have to get that together because we communicators. Period. That's how she was talking. We communicators. And Shay was like, exactly. So when Josh does come outside, the sister is asking him, what are your plans like for my sister? What do you have planned for her? Where are you guys going to go? Asking her, do you think you love her? Are you in love with her? Is marriage in the cards? And Josh is saying that marriage is in the cards, definitely 2 years max. And she's just like, oh, why 2 years? And he said, well, I want to have a chance to date her, get to know her, make memories with her. Even though they've known each other for 12 years, they haven't been in each other's presence for 12 years. So I wouldn't really say they needed to get married right off the bat either. But she was just like, oh, okay, well, it sounds like BS to me. She wants to know more about what Josh is trying to do, why he loves Shay. He says this is the best he's ever felt with anybody. She accepts me. She loves me wholly, completely. She don't judge me. I ain't never felt that with nobody else but her. This is the one. This is the right one for me. So the sister is like, well, I guess. And so whenever Josh gets up to leave, she's just like, well, he sound all right. But what's the plans? Like, what about the stability and the are y'all gonna build together? I'm gonna tell you what. Now they still in their early 30s, but I had told my godmom a couple weeks ago. I was like, I'm tired of damn building. I'm tired. Now we gonna be in our 40s soon. I'm not building shit else. Excuse me. I'm not building. I'm not building. You're going to have to get it out the mud or find you a business partner. I'm not doing it. Excuse me, y'all. I don't normally cuss this much in the review. But, so Shay was just like, well, he wants to move me out to Texas. And I believe that Josh told his friend as well that he wanted to go out to Texas a couple of months before Shay and then move her out there. Now, is that still close to his kids? Because I thought them kids was in Florida. And anytime you in Texas, depending on what direction you going, it takes 6 hours just to get out of Texas. So I'm trying to figure out where them kids at, unless they in Texas too, but I'm not sure. Now, when we meet Josh's friend, first of all, rest in peace. Okay, I saw at the end of the episode that he had passed on. And I'm actually glad I saw that because I don't want to be insensitive. But when this man popped up on the screen, I said he was a miracle worker. I know we ain't got a young Rance Allen on the scene. As soon as I saw him, that's immediately, y'all go look up pictures of Rance Allen when he was younger. If this man ain't dead on something about the name G's. Oh gosh, y'all, my grandma loved him. My grandma, aunties, older people, they love the Rance Allen albums. They love Rance Allen. The men's choir used to do it on Sundays, but when I saw him, I was like, not a young Rance Allen, but he has passed on. So rest in peace to Josh. Condolences to Josh's friend, and condolences to Josh. But he didn't really have much to say. He just said that he kind of is on the lines of, as long as my friend is happy, I'm happy. I'm always going to be a supportive friend. So as long as everything makes sense. And that's really all we got out of Josh's friend. What did y'all think about the different meetings? Do y'all think Shay and Josh are going to make it? I don't think so. You know what made me think it? When Shay was like, girl, guess what I did? When she was talking about she was about to tell her sister about the tattoos. And the sister was like, oh, what, you beat them up? Shay said that she's had some issues in the past with cursing people out immediately and, not really listening. Now, she may have grown past all that, but why her sister immediately go there? And then she also did mention her trust issues as well. So, I think once they get together, they going to have to work through some of that limerence that they had towards each other, like kind of putting each other up real high because they hadn't been together yet. And once the relationship is together, we'll see how they do. I'm going to tell you this. One thing for sure and two things for certain. Diamond might be a big girl. When I tell you she be having her shit together, all right, she be snatched up, clothes be fitting right. There's not been anything on here that Diamond has had on that I did not think she looked good in. So I'm definitely going to give baby girl that. She don't play around about that figure. All right. She letting all us know. So they get together to go to this winery. And even at the winery, y'all, they bringing up the house. They going on a wine tour. She wanted a top off and they drinking because it's been so stressful in the house. They done drove me to drink. And I was just rolling my eyes. And I was further rolling my eyes at the wine man giving them some Moscato. I was looking like, did you hear us Negroes like Moscato? Anyway, but they go through the rest of the day. Diamond says she's having a good time, and Big Aaron got a special surprise for her. Her favorite flowers, candles, the works. Because he is about to ask Diamond to marry him. So he gets down on one knee. She already kind of know by the way he's talking that that's what he's about to do. And of course, he brings up the house again. He brings up the house even in the proposal. And he gets down on one knee, and Diamond is got her hand on her face. You know, she's overcome with emotion. And Big Aaron is looking up at her like, I ain't got all day and I ain't got no knee pad on my knee. So what is it going to be? We're going to see what the answer is going to be next week. I feel like Diamond is probably going to say yes. Because if she say no, you know, Big Aaron, he already been told no once by that other lady. So he might go find her again if you say no, Diamond. So I don't foresee Diamond saying no next week, but we're going to see what happens. I'm done here. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye.